Okay, so I think that today my my share would be somewhat different than what you had for Hachana. I don't know. And even the Malamakoimis that we sent are partial. So maybe we could just spontaneously have things on our screen. Maybe not. But what I am saying today is partially discuss the Minchas Osher Bereishis Ayin Daled in the new Madura. Recently, a new edition of the Minchas Osher HaTorah came out. But I will discuss briefly 5 different facets of Torah Lo B'Shamayim. And let me introduce, even before we go into details, Baskol. And the reason we start off with Baskol, because those are the most fundamental Gemaras and fascinating Gemaras. Number 2, after Baskol, Urim V'Tumim. Do we rely on Urim V'Tumim for halachas? If in the days of the Beis HaMikdash, there was a huge shaila, and the Sanhedrin couldn't decide, would they turn to the Urim V'Tumim? Question number 3, the authority of a Novi, to say, this is what I got a revelation from the heavens, this is the halacha. Baskol, Novi, Urim V'Tumim, Ruach HaKodesh. If we know what is Ruach HaKodesh, very good question. And finally, Divrei Chalamis. Is it relevant what we dream regarding Piskei Halacha? So these are the 5 topics I will touch upon. Let us start, as I said, fascinating story of Bava Metzia Nun Tes Amid Beis. Story of Tanu Shalachanoi. I'm sure you're learning this Gemara.
Let's start with the source of that first.
The Gemara tells a story of a machlokes Rebbe Eliezer and Rebbe Yeshua and Bava Metzia Nun Tes Amid Beis. So we won't go into the question of Tumah v'Tahara. It's not really relevant to the Shia. He put up a lot of halachic arguments, and for some reason, Rabbi Yeshua and the Chachamim were not convinced. He did not change their opinion. Obviously, out of frustration, he says, my feeling is, when Rabbi Eliezer looked at that carob tree, and he said, Charuv Machiach, he had no idea what the Charuv is going to do. He had no idea how the Charuv will prove that he's right. Maybe the Charuv will start dancing. Maybe it'll turn upside down. Maybe the Charuv will start talking like Bilam's donkey. He didn't know how the Charuv will prove, but it did. And the Chachamim said, Ein Mevi'in Ra'im in a Charuv. HaMasamayim yuchiach chazal ha'choirav. Ein Mevi'in Ra'im HaMasamayim. Kois lebeis hamedesh yochichu. And the Ksorim started falling down. Rabbi Yeshua gor behem, and he says, why do you mix in? So they didn't fall because kvoidoi shel Rabbi Yeshua. They didn't stand erect. Kvoidoi shel Rabbi Eliezer. Ein mevi'in ra'im kois lebeis hamedesh. Baskol yochiach. Pascal said, and if Shia stands up and he says, let me share with you an idea in Musar, because after all, it's our last opportunity before Shavuos. So let's take the opportunity. I have a fundamental question in this Gemara. When Eliezer says Charuv Yochiach, and Rabbi Shua and his Chaverim say Eimev Layim and Charuv, why does he say HaMasamayim Yochiach? Why does he say Koisla Beis HaMedesh Yochiach? What would be the difference between the Charuv and HaMasamayim and Koisla Beis HaMedesh? And if Rabbi Shua said Eimev Layim and Charuv, wouldn't that go for Koisla Beis HaMedesh and HaMasamayim? L'chayra was silly and futile. If the Chachamim said, we need halachic argument, and we cannot prove anything from miracles, wasn't it enough when they said, Eimev Yanayim and Acharov? Why would you think that HaMasamayim and Koisla Beis HaMedesh would be more convincing? So let me share with you a thought. The TORAH HaKodesh, Parshas Yisrael, and the Posek v'yisu merefidim v'yachanu b'midbar v'yichen sham yisuan neged ha'ar. TORAH says this Posek is a remes to the three most fundamental yisodos of Achronet Kabbalah Satorah. And I always quote this TORAH before Shloshis Yemei HaGabbalah. And tomorrow night is Shloshis Yemei HaGabbalah. So TORAH says v'yisu merefidim Omar HaTorah. So, once upon a time, 100 years ago, it was very hard for the average balabas to achieve.
Anybody here? Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Perfectly, Rebbe. We heard the Rebbe perfectly.
Yes, perfectly.
We have to make it a little out of here.
So 100 years ago.
Sorry.
In many shuls in Europe, there were more Ein Yankers than Shasim. People worked very hard manual labor. Many people weren't very learned. They used to come drained and tired and exhausted between Mincha and Marav, and they learned Ein Yanker. So very few people, if they weren't Lamdonim, the average balabos, didn't have many opportunities for a Giyas HaTorah, but we're living in a different world. We don't work that hard. Minig Etzesol is not to work at all. And there's such an abundance of wonderful Torah literature. Schottenstein changed the world. Schottenstein, Metiftam. And there are hundreds of amazing shiurim, many of them online. Today, everybody is mechuyev in Yegiyas HaTorah and Omer HaTorah. It's so available, it's so accessible. So anyway, number one says, Dorachayim b'yisum refidim. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, what does refidim mean? V'yalochem en b'nei Yisrael b'refidim amorek sherofi yedei medivrei Torah. B'yisum refidim means, pas v'melech toichel mayim b'msurat tishter Yegiyas HaTorah. V'yachanu b'midbar is a remes for another, because all the different types of topography we have on our planet. There are jungles, forests, rainforests, the Great Plains of America, the African savanna, and the desert. All the other different types of topography give life. They give water, they give food, and that is life. The desert doesn't sustain life. No vegetation, no water. Eretz Tzion Vitzal Moves, as the Tanakh says. So V'yachanu b'midbar is a remes for another, and Chazal say many sources. Ein divrei Torah miskayim ela b'mishadat ishfeila. Number 3, Vayichen sham Yisua neged ha'ar, ki yesh echod belev echod, is a remes for dibuk chaver pilpul talmidim. It's hard to achieve greatness when you learn alone. So the Rechaim says these are the 3 fundamentals. Yegiyas HaTorah, another, dibuk chaver. And my pshat is, this is what Rabbi Eliezer tries to prove. When he says Charuv Yochiach, throughout Shas HaRav always symbolizes a mistapik b'miut v'yagias HaTorah. The Gemara says on a Chanina ben Doisa, Kol ha'olam kuloi nizon b'shvil Chanina b'ni v'Chanina b'ni da'ila b'kaf charuvim. What sustained Reb Shimon bar Yochai and Rabbi Elazar ben El 13 years in the cave? Ate charuv, miraculously. They ate carobs. So he says, Charav yochiach yagias HaTorah. No, that is not enough. So he says, how about HaMasamayim? In Tanas the Zion, the Gemara says, Torah nimshel ha'mayim, ma'amayim yordim amukim gavay amukim namach. Water will always go down. Av divrei Torah in miskaimin elu b'mishadat ishvela. So when he says, HaMasamayim yochiach, he says, I'm the onav. And finally he says, Koislei beis hamedrash yochichu. The beis medrash in which I taught Torah. The book Havedim Pilpal HaTalmidim. So he's not trying to prove his point simply by miracles. But what he's trying to say is the Charuv will prove my Yagias HaTorah. HaMasamayim will prove my Anova. And Koisa Beis HaMedrash will prove my Pilpal HaTalmidim and Dibuk Chavedim. V'yafal Piken, Rabbi Yeshua says, Ein Mashgichem Bebaskal. So Tosfos, both in Bava Metzia. Let's go over to Eruvin Yud Gimel. So in Bava Metzia, the Gemara says, Ein Mashgichem Bebaskal. That's the opinion of Rabbi Yeshua.
The Gemara is there in Eruvin, back in the Tzur Sadaf. Basically, let's follow the Tzur Sadaf. Go back to Tzur Sadaf.
Eruvin Yud Gimel, Amid Beis. Omer Reb Abba, Omer Shmuel, Shoshan Menachloko B'Sham Eve B'Serela, Lo Lo Omer Malochi Kemoiseni, Lo Lo Omer Malochi Kemoiseni, Yotze Vasko V'Yamro, Elu V'Yelu, Divrei Elokim Chayim Em, V'Alochi Kebeisel, V'Chemiyacha She'elu V'Yelu Divrei Chayim, Mipnei Mazocho B'Serela, Ko Elochi Kemoisam, Mipnei Shenoichin V'Alu V'Moya V'Shoinim Divreim V'Divrei B'Shamai. So this Gemara says we do rely on Baskon, and that is why in the entirety of Shas Alochi Kebeisel. So there seems to be a stira between two Gemaras. Do we or don't we rely on a Baskon? Let's go back to the Tosfos in Bava Metzia. The Tosfos appears once again in Eruvin, but it's clearer in Bava Metzia. Lo BASHAMAYIM. V'od omer b'perek hamedi avames Alochi Kebeisel mishim diyotza Baskon. Tosfos gives two terutzim. Shana hoche shebolach lo kol divrei Torah dechsiv HaRav lahatis. Aval osa ma'ader Rabba b'Seleru. So the first teretz in Tosfos is a very logical one. When the Baskal goes against halacha, ein mashgichem bebaskal. Let me make a comment. The past 2 weeks, we dealt with Kabbalah. In my personal opinion, the two amazing shiurim we had about Kabbalah and halacha have nothing to do with Torah lo BASHAMAYIM. Nothing to do with the sugya we're discussing today. Kabbalah is an integral part of Torah. There is svara in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is not divrei nevius. The gedolim of Kabbalah were amazing geonim. Kabbalah has amkus just like halacha has amkus. Kabbalah has svara just like Lomdes has svara. It's a different realm, a different derech. But it's not Torah lo BASHAMAYIM. Kabbalah is chachmei Torah, gedolei Torah, that were mechadish unbelievable chidushim, not b'derech halacha, b'derech Kabbalah. So it has nothing to do with Torah lo BASHAMAYIM. But I just want to make a comment. We had a similar approach in the question when halacha contradicts Kabbalah. What do we say? We say halacha overrides, but if there's no contradiction, sometimes we follow Kabbalah. And that is similar to Tosfos teretz regarding Baskal. If the Baskal goes against halacha, ein mashgichem. But if the Baskal does not contradict halacha, then it does have significance, and then we follow the Baskal. So in Yavamis, Beis Hillel u'Rav, achrei Rabim lahatis. But nevertheless, the Chachamim had a suffix. Beis Hillel the majority, but Beis Shammai were Harifim. They were brighter. They were more talented. They had more Harifos. So the Chachamim thought maybe the Harifos of Beis Shammai overrides the majority of Beis Hillel. And that was the question the Baskel came to decide. No, we always follow the majority. And because the Baskel doesn't contradict halacha, we do follow the Baskel. Tosfos suggests another teretz. V'oid, the kan lo yotza Baskel elem shum kodesh Rabbi Eliezer, shomer min hashamayim yechichu. Just like the Charuv and the Amas Hamayim and Koisle Beis HaMedesh. What is the Kodesh Baruch Hu supposed to do when he's challenged by Rabbi Eliezer? And Rabbi Eliezer says, Min hashamayim yechichu. Mishum kvoido isha Rabbi Eliezer. And that's why we didn't follow the Baskel. So Tosfos answers two drachim. If possible, I would like to have Tzura Sadaf, Brachos Yutes Umid Beis. If we could fetch it. It's not in our Mekaymis, but it's a fascinating source. If we could have Tzura Sadaf, Brachos Yutes Umid Beis. If not, I'll just share it about it. Because I want Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon.
Come in a moment.
Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon. It's printed on the daf. Shas Vilna, Ois V'Hodor, they all have it on the daf. Brachos Yutes Amud Beis. Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon offers two additional terutzim.
Could you lift it up? This is Rabbeinu Chanano.
Let's go down.
Scroll down.
Scroll down. More. Down. Here we have it. Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon on the bottom of the page. I have the Vilna Shas, so it's a different configuration, but let's look for it. Okay, here we are. Ve'ev shaloimar. Okay, up. Scroll up. About 10 lines. Okay. V'zeh she'amru yotzes baskel v'omra malachem etzer Rabbi Eliezer shaloch kamois b'kol mokem. Ro'ise boi beis tshuvas. V'achas. Ki baskel lo yomru shaloch kamois b'davar zeh. Ela b'kol mokem stam. Isha amro. Ve'ef shaloime ki b'kol mokem zu lo zizeh mokem moiso kavenaso. Very interesting and a bit far-fetched. So Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon says, the Baskel says, Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer b'kol mokem. It didn't specifically say Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer b'tanur shalachanoi. And maybe it came to exclude b'kol mokem Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer. But maybe this is an exception. Everywhere besides here. So the Baskel in Yevomis was very explicit. Halacha ke Beis Hillel. This one was more fuzzy. Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer b'kol mokem. Maybe everywhere else, but not here. Interesting. Pshat number 2. V'hashenis. One line below the yellow. V'hashenis. שלא יהיו הכוון אלה לנסה, יססה חכמים אם יניחו הכבוד שביודם והגמור שבפיהם, בשביל בסקול עם לאו. Like the Pasuk says, Ki menasa Hashem Elokeichem eschem. Kodesh Baruch Hu is putting you to test. So maybe the Baskel came out, expecting the Chachamim to disregard the Baskel, to say, Torah lo b'shamayim. So Rabbeinu Nissim Gaon offers two additional terutzim to Bibi Yashiv. And now I'm going to share with you my personal pshat. And many times on my shurim, I apologize and I say, if I would live 900 years ago, this is what I would say. I'm aware that I didn't live 900 years ago, and there's a good reason why. But nevertheless, let's go back to the Gemara in Eruvin. I'm going back to the Gemara in Eruvin. And then the Gemara says, מפני שנויכם ועלו ומויו ושוינים דבריהם ודברי בשמן ולא יועיד, אלא שמקדימים דברי בשלן לדבריהם. Is this part of the Baskol? I don't know. It's not mefurish in the Gemara. Is all this part of the Baskol, or maybe the Baskol was only and when the Gemara says that is just the explanation of Chazal. We don't know. Is all this included in the Baskol? Or is it just Chazal's interpretation, explanation why Benkach or Benkach? So let me say my feeling. Sometimes two great Talmidei Chachamim have a machlokes, whether it's in Lamdus or in Halacha or in Hashkafa. And I think it is required from every Gadol and every Chacham to listen carefully to what his Baal Plukta has to say. Try to understand his point of view. Be mechabed what he has to say. Sometimes, each of us probably experienced this many times. I experienced a million times. Sometimes you talk to somebody and learning, and the guy just doesn't want to listen. He's so busy saying what he has to say, he's not even listening. Doesn't have the capacity to listen. But a real chacham listens carefully to what the other party has to say, and he tries to understand. And he doesn't have a problem saying, like the greatest Amorah said many times, that is what we find in the Gemara Rav says. So in one tries to understand the other party, and the other doesn't even listen. We should pass in accordance to the one that did listen, tried to understand, understood the point of view of the other party, the Afro Piken, and that is what the Baskol teaches us. Lamo halochike beselo. Beselo knew how to listen and respect the view of Beis Shammai. Noichim ba'alu v'moyu v'shoinim devreim v'divre Beis Shammai v'lo yoid magdimim divre Beis Shammai l'divreim. They had tremendous respect for Beis Shammai, and they tried to understand, and they listened. V'yafor piken cholku aleim, and that is why halochike. So the Baskol is not arbitrary. The Baskol comes to teach us a fundamental rule in Darko Shel Torah and in Darkei HaPsika. And that is why this Baskol is relevant and not the Baskol that just says, so this brings to a culmination what we have to say about Baskol, different interpretations when we listen to a Baskol and learning. It's not very relevant because it's been ages, thousands of years since a Baskol was last heard. Urim v'tumim brings us to a Gemara, Tmuret Tes Zayin. Let's have a look at Tmuret Tes Zayin because that is a fundamental Gemara number 2, once again dealing with Torah Lo B'Shamayim. So the first source of Torah Lo B'Shamayim is Baskol.
Scroll down. It's there on the Tzur Sadaf.
Tmuret Tes Zayin Amud Aleph. Shloishes alfei halachas nishtakhu b'yamei.
Pesach, just scroll down. Just scroll down and the Tzur Sadaf. Just keep on going. Sorry, HaRav, it takes a second.
It's fine. It's fine. Here we are. The pain, the trauma, the mourning caused thousands of halachas to be forgotten. Omar lo Yoshua sha'al, Omar lo BASHAMAYIM. Omar lo Shmuel sha'al, Omar lam el hamitzvah she'eino v'reshoy lechadesh dava miyato. Omar lo Pinchas sha'al, TORAH lo BASHAMAYIM. What does the word sha'al mean? Ask. Whom are we supposed to ask? Shmuel was a Navi. So the Yidden turned to Shmuel, you're a Navi, ask. And he says, I can't ask. Pinchas was a Kohen.
What was Shmuel doing there, HaRav? If this historical event is historical, it was happened at the time of Mrs. Moshe Shubanun. What was Shmuel Hanavi doing there?
That's a very, very good question.
Pinchas, we understand. Yeshua, we understand. We're all there. What's
Pinchas, Yoshua, and Otniel ben Kenaz were Talmidim of Moshe Rabbeinu. Shmuel Hanavi was many generations later. He was in the days of David HaMelech and Saul HaMelech. The HaRav says that Shmuel was a Gilgal of the Neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu. So, according to the HaRav, they asked the Neshama because Shmuel was a Gilgal of Moshe Rabbeinu. That's the interpretation of the HaRav. So when they asked Shmuel Sha'al, he says, even a Navi doesn't have the authority to be Mechadesh Shalach. Pinchas was a Kohen. When they told Pinchas Sha'al, it means Urim V'Tumim. And he says, TORAH lo BASHAMAYIM. Otniel ben Kenaz, the Gemara says, Hichziron bepilpulo. What we learn from this Gemara is a few fundamentals. A Navi has no authority to be Mechadesh HaHalach. It's not mefurish in the Gemara. Amru la Pinchas Sha'al means Urim V'Tumim. It's not in the Gemara. If we could fly over to Erev and Mem Hey Yom Aleph, I'm not sure we have it on our source sheet. Erev and Mem Hey Amud Aleph. The Gemara deals with David HaMelech, a parsha in Novi, Anshe Keilo.
we don't. This will have to get off the Hebrew books. We're pasted.
It's not so important. Rashi clearly says that the Urim V'Tumim could not paskin halachas. Oh, here we are. Amazing. Erev and Mem Hey Yom Aleph. Scroll down, 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 down. Down, it's almost the bottom of the page. We go more down. Down. So the Gemara deals with the question, Goyim Shetzoro El Ore Yisrael. When do we Mechal Shabbos? We're not. So before the Mishnah, 4 lines before the first Mishnah. Vayishel David Bashem Leimer. Ha'elech. Should I fight the Pelishtim? Should I not fight? And the Gemara says, what was his question? If his question was a halachic question, you have a question, ask Shmuel. What he asked, would I succeed in this battle or not? Let's have a look at Rashi, Harei Shmuel bebeis dinai kayim. The last Rashi before the Mishnah, Harei Shmuel bebeis dinai kayim Rashi. V'mida de isaveter lo mishayel b'urim v'tumim. You cannot ask the Urim v'Tumim about isaveter. Why? TORAH lo BASHAMAYIM. We go back to the Gemara in Tumura. TORAH loy b'shamayim. So what we learned from this Gemara is two fundamentals. A Navi doesn't have authority, and the Urim v'Tumim don't paskin Isser. Three interesting sources. Erev and Samach Amid Beis, Bava Basi Yud Beis Amid Aleph, Poiris Memei Amid Aleph. Three different Ameroim. Rav Dimi, Rabbi Yochanan. But in all three sources, it's at the end of my source sheet. If you have my source sheet, very last page on my source sheet. Here we are. Amar Abba Mishmuel. We had it a moment ago. Oh, we don't have the Gemara, only.
Which Gemara we do? Which Gemara?
Erev and Memhei. It's still,
think-
here we are. Here,
No,
no.
I don't remember it.
Here we are. No. It's towards the end of my source sheet. Do we have the Gemara? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, keep on scrolling. Pesach. Yuma, Bavli, Kavit I don't think it made it.
Yeah,
in.
very wicked.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
Very wicked. So, Omer Avedi, Ein Eladim Avias. The same Rabbi Yochanan in Bava Basa, the same Rabbi Yossi in Bava Basa, Rabbi Yochanan in Bechares. Let's see what Rashi says in all three places. Zogt Rashi, Omer Avedi, Ein Eladim Avias, Kemisnava Mepnei Agvura. שאין נויסן טעם לדבריו. אומר רבי שמעון הלוי לדבורים. וילך דקום ממרא ולא יבוא אומר. אין אלא דברי נביאס, רש"י וייסם בבא בסה ולא טעם. רש"י עם בחורס כדברי נביאס שאין שיחן ליתן טעם לנבואסן, לפי שבלא טעם שומר להם. כך לא נותנו טעם לדבריהם. So Rashi in all three sources says, יש דורשים לגנאי. When the Gemara says, אין אלו אלה דברי נביאס, he means to say, a Navi doesn't need to explain, but an Amoira does need to explain. You cannot just say without explaining. A Navi doesn't need to explain, but Chachmei Torah need to explain. Tosfos, number 29, it's on our sheet. Ein elu divrei nevius oimeri, de bekol mokum sheoimer, ein elu divrei nevius aval shevach, kloimer. אין חוכמה כזו, שמבין לחלק כל כך סבור המועטס, וברוח הקודש אומר. So Tosfos, contrary to Rashi, says, when the Gemara says, אין אלו דברי נביאס, it is, יש דורשם לשבח. You're saying something so amazing, it is fitting for a Navi. So two different interpretations whenever Chazal we find the expression, אין אלו דברי נביאס, is it לשבח or leginai? How about Ruach HaKodesh? When a Chacham says something by Ruach HaKodesh, does it bear halachic relevance? Three sources in the Ravid. We start off with Hilchas Lulav. Hilchas Lulav in Rambam.
Number 11. Number 11.
In my source sheet, not Surah Sadaf.
Yeah, we'll go back to Thursday to 11.
Number 11, we scroll up, from 29 back to 11. We have a lot to, here we are. Rambam. Chodosh sheniktem roishai kosher. The Rambam Paskins. Lulav sheniktem roishai posel. Chodosh sheniktem roishai kosher. Ravid, 12. Amar Avraham, kvar ofiya ruach hakodesh bebeis midrashenu mekame shonim. Ve'aleinu shu posel kestam mishne v'divrei Reb David. V'mokam henichu li min hashomayim. The Ravid disagrees and he says, ruach hakodesh ofiya bebeit midrashenu. And there's three different interpretations in Gedolei Achronim. What does the Ravid mean? Does he actually mean Ruach HaKodesh in its literal sense? Revelation? If it's revelation, wouldn't we say Torah Loi B'Shamayim? Is it different than Nevuah? We learned in Masechet Mura that a Novi, Nevuah means nothing in Halacha. Just like Baskol ein mashgichim bebaskol. The same as Nevuah. Would the Ruach HaKodesh be different? Shut Mari ben Lev. Mari ben Lev was 500 years ago, even more. One of the greatest Kadmonim. HaRav et posek estam Mishnah desna niktim lo ish posel. V'kosa v'kvar fi Ruach HaKodesh beis medushenu. V'leinu shu posel. Kosa v'magal Mishnah. Kol ze ha-shevach shehu mishabeach sferosoi kvaro ha-Ramban devorav v'heishev aleya. ואין ספק שהרמב"ן האמין לדבריו שהופיע רוח הקודש במייס מדרשה, במקום הניחו לי מן השמיים. ונראה לחודש הם דבורם כפשוטו, שהופיע רוח הקודש במייס מדרשה והוירי כדבריו, ועם כל זה חולק הדבריו. So, the Mari Ben Lev says, the Rambam didn't see the Hasuga of the Ravid, but the Ramban did. And nevertheless, he disagrees. If we scroll down 3 lines, Mari Ben Levi quotes the Ramban and he explains, Shana Osam, Torah loy b'shamayim. Torah loy b'shamayim. And therefore the Ramban didn't doubt, he had no doubt that the Ravid was Zeichet Ruach HaKodesh. But we do not decide halachas al pi Ruach HaKodesh, and that is why he agrees with the Rambam. Kapes Mori quotes Mari Ben Lev, number 14. And he disagrees with the understanding, what does the Ravid mean, Ruach HaKodesh? Ro'isi baribal, sheheven ki Ruach HaKodesh mamish, hofiya bebeis medroshe shel HaRavid, v'afar piken chol hakol HaRamban, mishum deloi b'shamayim. ואח הנשיקס יודף של הריבה נראה, כי לא נשתבח הרב את שממש הופיע רוח הקודש לא בדין זה, אלא כיוון שערב לו הפרש, והחילוק שפירש, עומקם בדרך גוזמה, he doesn't really mean רוח הקודש. He was so happy with this Torah, and he had such total conviction that he's right. And Mesikas Torah, it's bederach malitza and bederach guzma. That's the Kapes Moram. The Kapes Moram was the Maram ben Chaviv. He was the Rav of Yerushalayim almost 400 years ago. And he wrote many magnificent Svarim. Shem HaGedolim. Haroye Yeresh Medivra Ramban LaRavid Bekoved Godel Yoid. Ki Melavad Gedulas HaRavid Betalmud. Oid Bosh Zochar Legil Eliyahu Hanavi, והרמב"ן גם כן זוכר לגיל אליהו הנביא, ויוד הרמב"ן רום על קידושס HaRav. So, when the Chidah says that the Ravid is Zochar Legil Eliyahu, he means this Ravid, Mofia Ruach HaKodesh Bebeis Midrashenu. Chassam Sofer gives additional insight. What does it mean, Mofia Ruach HaKodesh? And this Sofer is so important. It's somewhat of a compromise, a middle way between Maribal and Kapes Morim. Heita Masha Diva Malosi, Kamasha Kosa Baravat, Kvarafia Ruach HaKodesh Bebeis Midrashenu, Uki Yoitze Beze Kama Pomem, Ein Roitze Loi Maroyach HaKodesh K'moshiyad Bedovid HaMelech V'chaveirov. Hainu, Ruach Hashem al Oiskei Torah Lishmon, Shezoichum Lachaven Uemes. ואפילו אם לביטבח חכמוסם ושכלם לא ישיגו ידיהם תושייה כזו. מכל מקום הקודש ברוך הוא בחסדוי, יאהב חכמס אל החכים אל הפישו. And that was Otniel ben Knaz על ידי פלפול. Amazing. This Ruach HaKodesh of the Ravid is not the Ruach HaKodesh of Torah L'Vishamayim, of Yeshua, Pinchas, Shmuel. It is the Ruach HaKodesh of Otniel ben Knaz. Gedolei Yisrael that learned Torah L'Shema, Ruach Memoroim Shoira Aleim, and they have Siyata D'Shmaya to be Mechaven El Oemes, and that is what the Ravid means, Ruach HaKodesh. So the Chassam Sofer once again comes to B'miyashiv. It has nothing to do with Torah L'Vishamayim. I just want to point out two more rabbits. Source number 17. In my source sheet, we just need to scroll down a bit. And this,
The Rav sees there's a shaila here, which maybe the Rav will address afterwards about the Beis Yosef of the Maggid. Rav say he doesn't want to talk about Kabbalah here, or it's separate, it's different shaila.
no. The Beis Yosef and the Maggid is relevant. What is not relevant is all the sources in which we saw Beis Yosef against Dari, when the Zohar says one should put on tefillin chalamoyed or not. Those are halachic discussions, even though they're based on Kabbalah. There is svara in Kabbalah. It's not like a Navi says, I heard from a Kadosh Baruch Hu that this is the halacha, or Ruach HaKodesh. Kabbalah is a Torah Shlema. However, the Magid Meshorim is revelation. It's not really svara, but I do not recall halachas that we find in Magid Meshorim. Maybe there are, but I do not recall Piskei Halacha that we find in Magid Meshorim. Usually the Magid Meshorim is eitzes to the Beis Yosef, how to best serve a Kodesh Baruch Hu. I do not recall halachas that we find in Magid Meshorim. So let's have a look at some 17 in that Ave. The Machlokes says what the Kedushas of Migdash is.
Wasn't staying up at night come from the Maggid on Shavuos?
No, it's one of the important sources is the Maggid, but it also was a Zohar. But once again, it's not a halacha. It's just a minhag. Nobody says that one is mechuyev to stay up at night by Shavuos. It's a minhag. It's a minhag of Hasidus, of Kedusha, but it's not really halacha. It's becoming a bit late, but we still have a lot of material. So let's just wrap up the Rabbit first of all. Rabbit number 17 is about Kedushas HaMikdash B'Zman Hazeh. The Rabbit disagrees with the Rambam. Kach nigra li mesoid Hashem li HaRav. And once again, in Elchos Mishka Moshe B'Din to Metahara, Baruch Hashem Ashigil Esoid li HaRav Yitzpon li Yeshorim Toshiyah. So this is about Ruach HaKodesh. So Mari Ben Lev says, the Ramban paskins in accordance to the Rambam because TORAH BASHAMAYIM. Obviously, the Rav felt, this is my opinion. I just have chizuk from Ruach HaKodesh. So the last topic is Divrei Chalaimos. And in Divrei Chalaimos, I wrote a big arichos in Minchas Osher Bereshis, the nuances in Ayin Dalet. So maybe we'll skip some of the sources, but let me share with you the interesting ones. One of the great Rishonim was the Or Zarua. And the Or Zarua in his Akdama writes, why did I call my Sefer Or Zarua? This is just so fascinating. I was mesupek how one needs to write the name Akiva in a get. Is Akiva with an Aleph or a Hey? It's not on our source sheet. Maybe it's on yours, I don't know. But the Or Zarua says, I didn't know how to write Akiva. Some write it with an Aleph, some write it with a Hey. And while I was contemplating how to write Akiva, I dreamed a pasuk. Or Zarua Hashem u'leish lalev simcha. Sof Tevis Akiva. And that was the Gilui to me. Or Zarua ends with an ayin. That Tzaddik, Kuf, the Yisraelev, Beis, the Yishrei, Yud, Simcha, Hey. And this proved to me, I dreamed this dream was revelation that one should write Akiva with a Hey. Amazing. So we decided on a psak halacha based on a dream. He dreamed a pasuk, and that is how he reached a conclusion, and that is why he calls his sefer or Zaru. So this is amazing. So dreaming a pasuk brought him to a psak halacha, and Karasi b'shem ze achi barani amacha b'yitzak b'Rav Moshe mepnei chibi yasere shemetzosi b'zeh hamikro or zerur atzadik v'yish leiv simcho sofer tevis Reb Akiva v'nichtav b'feresh v'loi b'remez.
Make it bigger, please, Pesach.
So, because, so he doesn't share with us the entire story, but the Chidah shares with us the background of the story. He just writes it b'derech remez. So it is this pasuk that made him decide that Akiva is written with the Hey and not with an Aleph. So this is one. Smag, Sefer Mitzvahs Godel, one of the choshavste Sifrei HaMitzvahs, in the Akdome to Chelik Beis, Chelik Alavim. This Smag writes, after he finished the Sefer, he had a dream. And in the dream, he was told that you made a mistake. You omitted the Lav Hashem Elachu Pen Tishkach Es Hashem Elokecha. And that's why he answered on Shelo B'mkoimoi. Could we have the Akdom of the Smag? Chelek Halo Taaseh, Chelek Beis of the Smag, if we could.
Leisase. No, go for right for the Leisase. There he has Essen. Is Essen with Leisase? No. Aleph Bays. Try over there, Bays, where it says Bays. Say from
Try
Bay.
Bays. Let's try Beis. Introduction. No, this seems to be Chelek or Essen.
You got to go to you got to find the Leisase.
Okay, it's not that important. You know, maybe we'll look for some easier sources. Rosh, Masechet Avodah Zorah, Perek Gimel, Siman Mem Aleph.
Let's
Rosh,
go to Rush.
Avodah Zorah,
But is that Rush Perigimel? But is that Perigimel?
Siman Mem Aleph. We have a lot of scrolling to do. There's a lot of Rush in this Perek. It's Issa V'Heter.
Just move the gray bar down, Pesach. Goes faster.
I'm sorry, Rabbi, I'm in Perek Gimel, I'm at the bottom. I'm at the
Just
bottom and only
No, maybe it's just a minute.
These Perek Bays.
Just one moment. I just take an Avodah Zorah Gemara. I'll find it in a moment.
Try Perek Bays, Pesach.
Yeah, I think it's Perek Beis.
Yeah, keep on going.
In
A
a
couple more.
moment.
Next page.
Perek Beis, which Simon?
Yeah, Perek Beis
And-
Mem Aleph. Perek Beis Mem Aleph.
41. The next one, Pesach. The next one.
Perek Beis Mem Aleph.
Scroll down. No,
This is a home amount.
Okay, Hagos Ashli.
here's the story with the Barbuta.
Dag Barabuta. So Hagos Ashli, I don't know in this, where do we have the Hagos Ashli? The Hagos Ashli always comes together with the Rash.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
at the end. Do we have the Hagos Ashli? No.
No, we needed Surah Sadaf. We needed Surah Sadaf for the Goy Sashri, I think.
Okay, I don't think we have a Hagos Ashli.
This is Hagar Sashi right here. I have it here. B'Sivim Menal.
Okay,
We have
right.
the
Rashbam Kosav V'Shem Rabbeinu Shloim. Medainu Daktor Shekoyrim Barbuta. ורבי יהודה חסיד אמר שכל מי שיוכל ברבותה לא יזכה לחלב ויוסה. פעם אחת התירו רבנו אפרים, ואמרו לו בחלום שהיא תשרוצים, וחזר בו ועשרי. וכל הפסק מלאך לינוחו ברוך הסרש. So Rabbeinu Ephraim was Matir, and then he dreamed that it was Matir Shrotzim. So we retracted. So does the dream bear significance? So some achronim that I quoted in my sefer say, the Noida B'Yehuda says, Chazaboy for himself, but he didn't change his psak. Noida B'Yehuda Tinyona Yoredeus and Melamed, which doesn't seem in Agos Rashi. Agos Rashi mashma Chazaboy v'asroi. Not only la'atzmoi, but for others as well. So my feeling
but it
is,
says kol ha'paisik melechel HaRav. If it's a sheretz, then versteht sich, it's what do you mean HaRav? Who's that last line?
but there is a machlokes that Rashbam writes in the name of Rashi. It's a daktor. It is a machlokes. When the Rashbam writes Rabbeinu Shlomo, the Rashbam was a Talmud of Rashi. So, like the Rosh writes, it's a machlokes. But the interesting thing is that Rabbeinu Ephraim was Matir, and then he retracted because of a dream. So maybe Lechumra, we would follow a dream. And this brings us back to last week's discussion. Kabbalah and Halacha. Sometimes Lechumra, we follow Kabbalah. So I don't think this dream really gave a psak. The dream was Musar, not a psak Halacha. It was Musar to Rabbeinu Ephraim. And that is why he followed the dream. Let's have a look at Shulchan Aruch Arachaim Tov Reish Nun Aleph and Turei Zov. Tov Reish Nun Aleph Arachaim, that's Hilchos Lulav.
The Mechaber? Rav wants the Mechaber?
Turei Zov Yud Dalet. Tov Reish Nun Aleph, Shulchan Aruch Arachaim Taz, Sif Kotem Yud Dalet. In the Gemara, we find Nanuim only regarding the Lulav.
You went to,
When a person does Nanuim,
further down. No, in Hilchos Lulav. Pesach, you're in Hilchos Tainus. Go to Hilchos Lulav.
go bow down, down, down.
Here you go, go. Wonderful.
Tov Reish Nun Aleph, Turei Zov. You're very good at this. I'm not. I don't even know how to.
Can we get it, Surah Sadaf? Can we get it, Surah Sadaf and the Taz? Okay, fine. Which Sif Cotton?
Sif Cotton Yud Dalet.
Now we're in the Prima Godim now. You have to go back to the Taz. Oh, this is the Taz, okay? Yud Dalet, this is the Taz. The Prima Godim that shows where there's a Prima Godim.
Right,
Yud Dalet.
right. Yud Dalet.
Here. Mamish. Soy
Like-
Hashem.
Here we בביס יוסף בשם הרקנתי, סויד זה נגלה אליי בחלום בליל יום טוב א' של חג הסוכריס. נחסך סן אצלי חוסד אחד אשכנזי, שמו רבי יצחק, ראיסי בחלום שהיה כוסף בשם יודקי, או יאמר כהי האחרונים המנהגים הלא יסייס. אמרתי להם מה זה עושיסו, הישב כך נהגים במקומני ואני מכיסי בו וכספתי לשורם ושתיהם המלמר. למוחר ראיסי שלא היו מנענע, רק עלו לה וביניו ולא היו עסק, והבנתי פסרין חלומי, כי יכול לדעת מינם רומזה בו יסבורך, שם הוויה. And he distanced the hay from the first three letters, and that was a remez that you don't need to do nanuim, only in the lulav, but not the esrei. That's an amazing dream. But it is a dream that we do not follow. So this is a dream which the Chosid Ashkenazi, Mishem Rabbi Yitzchak, did not know him only with the lulav, not with the eslik. However, the Taz says Pashtus, the eslik and the lulav come together. Minekol, we do nanuim with the eslik as well. So just to finish off this part of the shir, and I saw that you did discuss Shalosh Ketuvos Min HaShamayim, which is a fascinating sefer. It is not quoted in the Poskim besides Tshuvas HaRadbaz. The Radbaz in several different Tshuvas quotes this sefer. I have it at home. Shalosh Ketuvos Min HaShamayim. One of the Balei HaTosfos made Shalas Chalom, and he was answered. And he wrote an entire sefer. It is primarily a halachic sefer. And that is the ultimate Torah lo b'shamayim. So most poskim disregard the sefer. And it is not really quoted extensively. The Bes Yosef never brings him. But the Radbaz quotes him a few times. Mahari halevi mikurbel. So I think there's a difference between dreams, which are spontaneous, which don't have much relevance in halacha. But when a tzaddik knows how to ask questions to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the heavens, and he receives response, that might be different. Spontaneous dreams, as we just saw in the Rishonim, sometimes they do have halachic relevance, sometimes not. But obviously, the Radbaz feels, and the Shalosh Ketuvos Min HaShamayim feels, that when you know how to ask and you get answers, that does have halachic relevance. So today we discussed 5 different realms: Baskal, Novi, Ulim V'Tumim, Ruach HaKodesh, and dreams, all fit into the greater context of Torah lo b'shamayim. So today's shir was somewhat lengthy. I hope it was interesting. And if anybody wants to further delve into this sugya, Minchas Osha, Bereshis, the new edition, Siman Ayin Dalet. Reb Shlomo Kol Tov, we should share a lot of.
I'm going to try to get the Rav on the phone before Yom Tov if possible. So we'll discuss, but maybe we'll narrow down.